What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and let's get into it. Let's talk about Dynamite, AEW's Fyter Fest, and this was night one. Starts off with the IWGP US Championship. Carl Anderson challenges Jon Moxley, the champion. He's been the champ for 557 days, and he comes out to a wild thing. I honestly think Tony Khan wants all his wrestlers to have catchy sing-along themes. You got Jericho, you got Jungle Boy, and then now you got Moxley. Wouldn't surprise me if every one of them are going to have a catchy tune that everybody's going to sing along to. I guess it's a good thing because we're having the live crowds now, and we saw it here in Fyter Fest, and everybody was singing along, and it sounded pretty good. But let's get on with this. Jon Moxley and Carl Anderson got really physical in this match. It really went all over the place, and really was a very, very hard-hitting match. Japanese IWGP rules. Outside the ring, you get a 20 count instead of a 10 count, and in the end, we see a paradigm shift by Mox, and hits it on Anderson, and he retains the championship. So he reigns once more, or a little bit longer, as the champ. But then Lance Archer, the former champ, who talks about backstage that January 4th, 2020 was when he lost the belt in Tokyo, Japan, and he wants a Texas death match. He did it before, why not do it again? But is this going to be something that Archer wants to do? He lost the match and that type of thing, but maybe he wants to do it so that he can kind of get one on Mox and get back at him by beating him in the match that he beat him in. And so it's going to be again a Texas death match. That's going to be pretty good. I've seen those type of matches. I didn't see their match, but that match is pretty brutal, and one of those things where you always question why these guys want to do matches like that. But hey, they're in the business, and this type of match a lot of these guys like, especially the guys that like pain, and Mox and Archer definitely have that type of that high threshold for pain. So it's gonna be cool to see that match. Now Andrade El Idolo is looking for Death Triangle, so I guess that's his next target. Who is he going to target? Is it going to be Penta? Is it going to be Ray Phoenix, or is it going to be Pac? Now, the FTW title match between Starks and Cage. Does anyone care? Is this title for real? It's not sanctioned. Like Taz said, it's never going to be recognized by any place. It's never going to be like that, and that's how I want it to be. It's but in the end, we see a distraction by Hook. It's distracting the referee, and Hobbs clocks Cage with the belt as Cage is doing a tornado-style clothesline. And then that sets up Starks. He hits a spear, and we have a new champ. And who cares? Move on. Well, before I move on, all I was going to say is that it's good for Cage because he doesn't need them. He could be all by himself and do just fine. But he's going to have something to do with getting some payback on Team Taz. And hopefully he puts Taz also in his radar as well. And they're now put on notice, so I'm pretty sure, we'll see. Now, Cody Rhodes addresses Malachi Black. Remember when he attacked not only Arn Anderson, but also Cody? And he wants a confrontation with Tommy End, and is looking for a fight. He just keeps calling him Tommy. He calls him Malachi as well. But Black comes on to Tron and makes his intentions known. And the room darkens, and Black appears in the ring, and they tee off on each other. But refs and officials intervene. You hear the typical let them fight, and this is really a good build-up. And I love his character. He's just like Aleister Black, a little more sinister. He had this video. I have not seen the video yet, and I guess that's how what's his name knew it was Malachi Black, because the video was out already. It's supposed to be Tommy End, and then Malachi Black is using Tommy End as a vessel, according to what these guys are saying, and that's pretty, very, very interesting. Let's see, man, this guy might be the the guy, the heel here in AEW. He might be a big thing that they need, to really put their, company over the top. Even though they're right there, they're definitely continuing to grow. AEW is, even the few years that they have in business. No, we'll see that. Now, the Elite and Dark Order come face to face as Hangman makes it known that he wants to be the next AEW champ. And then, the champion himself, Kenny Omega says, a 5-on-5 elimination style match. He proposes that, and if Hangman and company win, Hangman gets a world title shot, and Dark Order gets a tag team title shot. That's what Hangman says. But then Kenny Omega goes, if Elite wins, Dark Order gets no title shot, and Page just has to walk away. And I guess he meant walk away from any title opportunities. He's talking about going home and telling them about your wins and your losses, and let your family know. But I don't think that it's a loser leaves. Whoever if he loses, he has to leave AEW. And didn't say it like that, but he said he walk away, so I guess walk away from the title. And it's kind of funny how the Elite, when Hangman and them got accepted, they were acting all flustered, and they're like going, "You're the ones that brought up the match. Why are you getting flustered that they accepted your match?" And then the way they're dressed, man. You talk about New Day being clowns. I always say they're the clowns. These guys are the clowns, man. Like New Day doesn't have they have the act of a clown, but they don't have the clothes on. But then they don't have the type of clothes that clowns wear. But in AEW, they got it covered with the Elite. They look like clowns. All they need is a red nose and one of those real big hair fucking wigs, one of those little horns, I think I would definitely say they're the clowns of this company. But anyway, let's move on to the 5 labors of Jericho, and that's what stands between Jericho getting his hands on MJF. And it's revealed after he's attacked by first Shawn Spears and then MJF that he has to face Shawn Spears in that first of the labors of Jericho, 5 labors of Jericho, in the chairs match. But the catch here is that Shawn Spears can use the chair, but not Jericho. So that kind of puts him at a disadvantage. But I think Jericho, they said he can't use the chair, but what makes him think that he can't use something else? Maybe he's got Floyd. Is that the name of it? I can't remember. I haven't seen his bat in a long time, but is that the name of his bat, Floyd? So maybe he'll bring him along. Now, Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage is a 23-year-long feud. And I was there since the beginning of that feud, watching WWE. And it will come to a head. And will it come to a head here? Cage has never beaten Hardy one-on-one. In 200 matches they've had between each other, and the majority of them were tag team matches. He's won a bunch. Christian has over the Hardy Boys, but one-on-one has not happened ever. But Cage, finally in the end gets that elusive victory over Hardy with a kill switch. But the HFO surround Cage to lay a beatdown, but Jurassic Express comes out, minus Marco Stunt, and they even the odds. So we're going to see some type of a match in the next few weeks, maybe. We'll see. Now Miro, I don't know. He talks about gods and proclaims himself as the Redeemer. It really, really reeks of like what Drew McIntyre does on WWE, where he's like, I'll tell you a story about somebody in the village of where I used to come from, and he did this, and I'm like, well, who cares? It's just like, what's Miro talking about? He's impressive, man, and I wish him a long title reign, but like, what are you talking about, Miro? Like, I had to try to listen to it again. Maybe I'll try to find the video, that they upload on AEW YouTube channel, and maybe I'll try to listen to it and dissect it more. I don't know, but he's just continuing to be dominant, and who's going to challenge him next. Now, Britt Baker, she's going to defend her title next week at Fyter Fest Night 2 against Nyla Rose. Now, after everything she was breaking, Nyla Rose promises to give Dr. Baker a world-class ass-kicking after hearing the words from the champ. She was really breaking her down, even saying to Vicky that the only reason why you've lasted and survived in this industry is because your last name. Kind of a burn right there. Despite the fact that she just got remarried. So I don't know. She's just using Guerrero as her, her stage name, her professional name. Now, we see Mox and he accepts Archer's challenge for the IWGP US title in a Texas death match. So, you know, it's accepted, it's on, and we'll see that, you know, and I'm happy to see that because I didn't see the match that they had in Japan for the US title, in AIWGP before, so it's going to be great to see this. Now, Wheeler Yuta with Best Friends, he takes on Sammy Guevara, and in the end, GTH puts the lights out for Yuta, and the hometown crowd, he's their favorite. The hometown boy, I guess you could say, win his match. So it's a great thing for Sammy. He needed this because of he got cheated out of that with that match where the Pinnacle got involved, and he could have easily beaten MJF. Not easily. It took a lot because that was a really great match. Very physical, very athletic. You know, you seen classic wrestling, and that was great, back and forth. And MJF impressed, man. He showed some athleticism in that match, and he really showed that he can go toe to toe with him. But Sammy Guevara had the what do you call it? He had the match. Now, QT Marshall, he pours a drink over Shivani's head. I mean, what do you call it? Solo was drinking his drink, and then what do you call it, gets it, and of course he's gonna go do it. And he goes, "Oh man, what are you doing?" You know, Shivani says, "Go, no, I'm, you know." QT goes, "Oh, I'm not going to pour it on you." He has it in his hand. He goes like this, puts it in his other hand, and he pours it on him. It looked like coffee or whatever kind of health drink, maybe, but it was brown, you know, brown coloring. So, you know, and it didn't look too good. And Shivani was miffed, talking about it at the, you know, and when he went back to the back at the commentator's desk, and he was miffed about it. And I don't blame him. QT Marshall's like, I don't know, he's a little bit braggadocious, a little bit acting like he's even said to him, goes, "What, you want to say anything about it?" Dude, Shivani goes, "I didn't think so." I think Shivani could beat his ass. You know what I mean? He comes up like a weasel. I'm not saying he ain't tough, but it's like, you know, what has he done? Him and the Factory, none of them have done anything. You know, like, it's one of those throwaway factions that I'm just like, let's go away now. You know. Now, Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki, who is returning after a 16-month layaway. I mean, she was gone. You know, she was gone for 16 months, and she's back. And the Magical Girl, as they call her, she hits with that splash off the second rope. It calls it the Magical Girl Splash. Off the second rope, and Yuka connects and pins Penelope Ford. Very great match. A very, very good, just a fun match. It was great to see them too. And Penelope Ford, like they were saying on the commentator's desk, guys were saying that she's improved a lot, and she has. I never thought that she was bad or anything as a wrestler. I think it's just that you can kind of see that she was still going through the stages and learning and stuff like that, and she gets better and better. So, you know, and also she's had a title shot before, so, you know, she's definitely, I believe she's still in like the top 5, you know, of the ranked women in the division. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, she's not that far off from the top 5. Now, night 2 for Fyter Fest, we got the women's title. Jericho versus Spears, 5-Lay versus Jericho. You got to face Shawn Spears in the chair match, not chairs match, because what do you call it? Only has the chair, and Jericho doesn't have that. And we got Orange Cassidy versus the Blade. It's kind of a layover from the match, the mixed tag match they had with Orange Cassidy and what's it's on the tip of my tongue. What's her name? Chris Statlander. How could I forget when she's like one of my favorite? Now it always just goes out of my head. Maybe it's just because her name is kind of like a very, very unique name, so sometimes I have to, you know what I mean? Chris Statlander, and then they took on the Blade and Bunny, and then of course, you know, the Chris Statlander got the victory with the Big Bang Theory, that kind of like a cradle pod driver. So we're going to see that. And also we saw a little bit of a package deal, video package of AEW Rampage. I liked it. I liked the package. I liked the video package and how they showed all the superstars and like that. I forgot to put the slug line. They have a slug line that kind of does sound kind of like braggadocious. It kind of sounds like they're kind of like saying that they're going to be the program, but they're going on Friday nights. I don't know what time. If they're gonna go, are they gonna go right head to head with SmackDown, or are they gonna be before? Maybe. That's pretty bold. It's pretty bold and pretty ballsy to take Friday nights. That's been SmackDown's home, you know, home day, home night. It's been Friday, so let's see what happens. Um, Definitely will watch that because I don't know, because it's like a lot of wrestling's coming up, and sometimes it's kind of hard to watch everything. But I'm gonna check it out. I'll check out the first match. I mean the first match, the first program at least. But anyway, let's move along with that, and let's go to the Coffin Match with All Ego Ethan Page versus Darby Allin. And we see Sting show up after Scorpio Sky comes out of the coffin, and he starts, you know, making his presence felt and helping out Ethan Page. But then, you know, and then, you know, and then because like I said, Sting's there, and then they end up beating on each other, and they end up going to the back and over the railing and up the stairs, and they're out. They didn't even come back at all in the match, even in the end. So mission accomplished by Sting. The Stinger got rid of Scorpio Sky and got him out of there. Now, at one point, Page removes the turnbuckle and actually the bottom rope, and he takes the hook that they usually put the latch on the thing, and he spin it around. He got that, and then he puts it in the back of what do you call his neck, and then he pulls it and it snaps the necklace. And then he does that, and then Darby, he does the same, and he gets a hold of it, and it fish hooks Ethan Page, and that couldn't have felt good. And at one point, we see it's a lot of back and forth, a lot of good offense in this, a lot of good just a lot of good stuff in this match. Very physical. A lot of it was outside, inside, and then we see Page at one point, he to get the steel steps are in there, and then Ethan Page delivers the Ego's Edge, like a razor's edge, and sends Darby Allin landing spine first on the steel steps. But Darby rides his skateboard, at one point outside on that outside apron. He rides the skateboard and lands right in the spine of All Ego Ethan Page, and he falls into the coffin, and then Darby's able to close it, and he wins the match. But is that enough? No. He then hits the coffin drop. You should say no pun intended, right? The coffin drop onto the coffin, and he ends up crashing through the covering there, the lid, and you can see the impact. That you can see Ethan Page kind of like this, and he's like, because you felt the entire 195 pounds of Darby Allin crashing through the coffin, and that was a defining thing right there. Pretty much saying that no, it's not over yet. I think maybe the crowd, maybe he heard somebody in the crowd say, do it, or he just basically said, I'm gonna do it for the fans, and I'm gonna do it to pretty much put an end to this feud, and could kind of send Ethan Page away then he can go focus on someone else. But I'm gonna tell you, Fyter Fest Night 1 was very good. The main event, it's a very unique main event. You would think it would be a title match or a really, really, bad feud that's been going for a long time. But this feud has been really good. A lot of history, a lot of, time spent in the ring between these two when it comes to being one-on-one, even before they came to AEW. So, I guess it was really a good main event. They didn't have a title match. The world title's not on the line, so of course you're gonna do this. I guess the women's title match will probably be the main event for night 2. And that would be fine, because I think that's going to be a great match between Nyla Rose, the former champion, taking on the current champ. Was a little bit, you talk about all ego, but Ethan Page, she's all ego, but she was just confident when she was in the ring. So, we'll see what happens there. Nyla might score the upset, but I think that they are kind of hanging the entire division on the shoulders of Britt Baker. So we'll see what happens there. But really, really good show. I really enjoyed it first night. So next week we'll be seeing night 2. and I can't wait for that. I guess what I'm saying, they're firing on all cylinders. You talk about AEW doing their thing, and I'm telling you, all these type of events that they have, the names are starting to just feel right. They're natural. They're really good names for pay-per-views, their events and all that stuff. And it's like some companies that are out there, some wrestling companies, and the names for their shows really don't sound like anything that can pop off and make you interested in the event. But AEW really has a lot of good names for even their shows too. So they're doing everything that right. But the one thing I'm wondering, where is my favorite Sheeta? I got this shirt. Holy Sheeta! Got it and delivered to me last night, so I was able to wear it for this video and show my support for the lovely Hikaru Shida. And hopefully she comes back soon. Maybe she'll come in the Fyter Fest. Maybe she'll make because she is a former champion, so maybe she's going to challenge whoever is the champion at the end of the night, on night 2. But anyway, that's my video for AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest, night 1. So I enjoyed it, and that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, I appreciate it. And thank you very much. And in closing, as always, take care.